Hey friends, welcome to another episode of Generation Tech. My name is Ben. Today we're going to be asking the question, how did
the first galactic empire
become
the first order?
Doesn't it sound great in a Scottish accent? Anyway, let's get started. So, after a certain frail old man passed away... No, not that one. Ah, that's better. Anyway, after the Emperor died at the Battle of Endor, it took more than a year for the Empire to completely surrender. They made their last stand on Jakku. That's why we see crashed Star Destroyers on Jakku in The Force Awakens. They were destroyed in the Battle of Jakku. During this time, the Empire was controlled by Councillor Gallius Rax, who the late Emperor had tasked with carrying out his kind of twisted contingency plan to destroy the Empire so it couldn't outlive him. Basically, the Emperor's view was, if I can't have you, no one can. Rax had already arranged for the death of several Imperial commanders and allowed rebels to secure several key victories before amassing his forces at Jakku. His plan was to destroy the entire planet, killing large numbers of Imperial and rebel forces, and then escape with a select few to the unknown regions to form a new empire there. He had laid the groundwork for a massive battle, and then started pouring evil Sith relics down into the core of the planet that would create a massive explosion, killing everyone. But his plan was foiled by Grand Admiral Rey Sloane, who had started questioning the morality of some of Rax's methods. She fatally shot Rax, who told her with his last dying breath that she should serve the contingency and escape with the others to the unknown regions to rendezvous with the Eclipse, Palpatine's Super Star Destroyer. While this was going on, the Galactic Concordance was signed by Mon Mothma that officially dissolved the Empire, and Jakku was also saved. Sloane and Bendrol Hux followed Rax's instructions, fleeing with many of the Empire's military secrets to the unknown regions. It seems Sloane had an idealistic vision that the Empire should be a beacon of freedom and human rights. It was the Empire, after all, that had saved her homeworld from drug-dealing slaver scumbags. That's the reason she joined up in the first place. But this dream never materialized. And Imperial forces in the unknown regions came under the control of Snoke, a dark side Force user, and his apprentice Kylo Ren. There's not much information on what happened to Sloane after that, although she apparently was one of the first group of leaders of the First Order. Bendrol Hux's son, Armitage Hux, who, like his father, didn't have a soul,
Hedges have souls!
also rose to prominence. He'd previously been given command of a group of 24 child soldiers trained by his father and travelled to the unknown regions with them. He started off weak-willed, but gradually became more and more aggressive. His father, Bendrol, had been in charge of the Imperial Academy on Arcanis. It was a kind of twisted version of Hogwarts combined with Imperials and Hunger Games. The older Hux had perfected the method of creating the model Stormtrooper. Or so he thought. Armitage was impatient and wanted to run the Stormtrooper program himself, so he got one of his father's proteges, Captain Phasma, to murder him. Armitage Hux would then rise up to the highest levels of command within the First Order. He had a kind of competitive relationship with his BFF Kylo Ren. They'd been in the same emo group growing up, but had fallen out due to musical differences. Hux wanted to move towards the industrial metal scene, yet Kylo wanted to stick with his emo roots. Okay, that part was made up. Anyway, out in the unknown regions, the First Order started over, and that's what gave them their name. Sloane had said to Hux, "It's time to start over. That is our First Order, to begin again and to get it right this time." So the newly named First Order set up bases and a massive industrial network that enabled it to construct ships such as Snoke's Super Star Destroyer bigger than London, and of course Starkiller Base, a super weapon with a name only slightly more unoriginal than the Death Star, and the rest is history. Cue a massively popular nostalgia movie that rehashes most of the plot of Star Wars A New Hope and sets up the plot for a darker sequel in which the First Order will strike back? Maybe? There are a few details we still don't know, such as what happened to Sloane and who exactly Snoke is. In the case of Snoke, this should be revealed in the new movie coming out in December, The First Order Strikes Back. The Last Jedi. So guys, what do you think about all this? Perhaps there are a few details I missed. I did have to condense a lot of information down into a short video. So leave your comments below if you have anything to add. Oh, and you can check out Alan's new video on our Generation Films channel on which Hollywood actors would make the ideal fantasy football team. We'll put the link on screen in just a moment. As always, subscribe if you're new. give this video a like, and if you're watching this, you are Generation Tech.